Yo, what is UP, my amazing earthlings? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the weird, wonderful, and mind-blowingly cool stuff our planet has to offer. Today, we are going on an adventure to uncover a secret world of farmers, but not the kind with tractors and overalls. We're talking about tiny farmers, farmers that are ants, fish, beetles, and termites. Get ready to have your mind blown because nature's got some seriously impressive agricultural tricks up its sleeve. Prepare yourselves for nature's tiny ranchers. Hit that like button if you're ready to get your knowledge on. Subscribe so you never miss an epic exploration. And let's get growing. Alright, first up, let's talk about the OGs of animal agriculture. Ants and aphids. Seriously, this relationship is like something out of a sci-fi movie. Imagine ants, tiny little six-legged creatures, farming other insects. Sounds crazy, right? But it's totally real. So aphids are these little sap-sucking bugs, kinda like tiny vampires, but for plants. They drink the sugary juice from plants called phloem, and then they poop out this sweet, sticky stuff called honeydew. And guess who loves honeydew? You guessed it, ants. Now here's where the farming part comes in. The ants aren't just passively waiting for the aphids to poop. Oh no, they're actively managing them. They protect the aphids from predators like ladybugs, who see aphids as a delicious snack. They'll even carry the aphids to new juicy plants like little mobile farmers. It's like the ants are saying, "Don't worry little aphids, I got you. I'll keep you safe and sound, just keep that honeydew flowing." And the aphids are like, "Deal, best protection racket ever." But it gets even crazier. Some ant species are like super farmers. Lasius nigerants, for example. They are super clean freaks and they pump antimicrobial compound from their feet to suppress fungi on aphid colonies. And the aphids, they've evolved to be the perfect livestock. Some aphids have special little tubes called cornicles that direct the honeydew right into the ants' mouths. It's like they're saying, "Here you go, Mr. Ant, one sugary treat, delivered straight to your door." Also, some aphids lost their wax coatings, just for ant loving. This ant-aphid relationship is so widespread that scientists have found it in at least 12 different ant lineages. In Southeast Asia, Chromatogaster ants even herd tree hoppers alongside aphids, creating mixed species livestock systems. Talk about efficient. In Europe, Formica ants are seasonal farmers, moving aphids to roots in winter and young shoots in spring. These ants are basically master shepherds and move their livestock to the best seasonal spots. But get this, in the Amazon, Azteca ants create entire aphid pastures in the rainforest canopy. These pastures process a whopping 12% of the canopy's carbon flow. That's like a significant chunk of the rainforest's entire ecosystem being managed by freaking ants. And in Finland, one colony of Formica execta ants was found tending to 2.3 million aphids across 57 birch trees. They were redirecting 840 kilograms of carbon from the trees to the forest floor every year. That's a mind-boggling amount of nutrient transfer, all thanks to these tiny farmers. So next time you see an ant, remember, it might not just be wandering around. It could be a highly skilled farmer tending to its precious aphid herd, shaping the entire ecosystem around it. It's amazing. Okay, land lovers, let's head underwater because we're about to meet some seriously dedicated gardeners with fins. Say hello to the damselfish. These little fish, specifically the dusky damselfish, Stegastes nigricans, are like the Martha Stewarts of the coral reef. They create and maintain these incredible underwater gardens, primarily made up of a single type of red algae called Polysiphonia. But here's the kicker, they don't just let the algae grow wild. Oh no, they're meticulous weeders. They use their powerful jaws to remove any other types of algae that dare to encroach on their precious Polysiphonia crop. I'm talking 98.7% removal rates of competing algae species. That's some serious dedication. It's like they're saying, "Get out of here, you unwanted seaweeds." This is Polysiphonia territory only. And the best part, they fertilise their algal gardens with their nitrogen-rich excretions. Talk about sustainable farming. They're basically creating their own little underwater permaculture system. Now, you might be thinking, okay, that's a cute little garden, but how much of an impact can a tiny fish really have? Well, prepare to be amazed. Satellite imaging shows that damselfish gardens cover 12 to 18% of the Indo-Pacific reef surfaces. That makes them the most extensive non-human agricultural system on the planet by area. These fish are rearranging the entire ocean floor. But why Polysiphonia? Well, damselfish can't digest most algae because they lack the necessary enzymes. But Polysiphonia is special. It contains laminarin, a type of sugar that the fish's gut microbiome can efficiently process. Metagenomic analysis shows that damselfish intestines host Vibrio bacteria with specialized genes that break down laminarin, converting 78% of the algal biomass into short-chain fatty acids. That's an incredibly efficient symbiosis. This partnership is a win-win. The Stegastes have growth rates 34% higher than non-farming damselfish species. These gardens follow predictable succession stages. It starts with weeding phase, then cultivation and harvest. It maintains soil, reef substrate health. Gardens older than 18 months show 300% higher coralline algae coverage, which is critical for coral larvae settlement. So damselfish are not only farmers, but also coral reef engineers, helping to build and maintain these vital ecosystems. They're like the ultimate underwater multitaskers. Alright folks, prepare to enter the fascinating world of fungiculture, where insects become master mushroom farmers. We're talking about ants, beetles and termites who've been cultivating fungi for millions of years. Let's start with leafcutter ants. These guys are like the super-organised farmers of the insect world. They harvest leaves, not to eat themselves, but to feed their fungal crops. They chew the leaves into a pulp and then use that pulp as a substrate to grow leucoagaricus fungi in underground chambers. It's like they're creating their own little mushroom farms in the heart of the rainforest. The ants even have special glands that secrete antimicrobial compounds to suppress rival fungi and promote the growth of their chosen crop. They're basically using natural pesticides to protect their harvest. And the fungi, they've been domesticated by the ants over millions of years. Their genomes show that they've lost the ability to break down lignin because the ants pre-process the leaves. But they've retained the ability to produce essential amino acids for the ant larvae. It's a perfect example of coevolution. Next up, we have ambrosia beetles. These tiny beetles bore into trees and cultivate Ambrosiella fungi in the xylem, the tree's vascular system. The female beetles carry fungal spores in specialised structures called mycangia and inoculate the tunnel walls as they bore. The fungi then convert the wood into sterols and amino acids, which make up 80% of the beetle's diet. Talk about a symbiotic relationship. They regulate moisture through trenching, which favours the crop over wild fungi. And finally, let's talk about termites. Macrotermitine termites construct these massive mounds, some reaching up to 5 metres tall, which house their termitomyces fungal gardens. The efficiency of this system is mind-blowing. 1 kilogram of dry wood yields 120 grams of fungal biomass, a 45% conversion rate compared to 18% in industrial bioreactors. These termites are better at growing mushrooms than we are. The fungi's thermophilic enzymes, active at 65 degrees Celsius, allow decomposition rates 17 times faster than free-living fungi, driving nutrient cycling in African savannas. These termite fungal systems are essential for the health and productivity of these ecosystems. So whether it's leafcutter ants, ambrosia beetles, or termites, these insects have mastered the art of fungiculture, creating complex and efficient farming systems that play a vital role in their respective ecosystems. Okay, so we've seen all these amazing examples of animal agriculture, but how did these relationships even evolve in the first place? How did these animals go from just eating stuff to actively farming it? Well, scientists believe that the transition from simple commensalism, where one species benefits and the other is unaffected, to obligate mutualism, where both species depend on each other, follows a predictable series of stages. First, we have proto-farming. This is where animals accidentally protect their food sources. For example, crabs defending mussel beds from predators. They're not intentionally farming the mussels, but their actions provide a benefit. Next, we have active cultivation. This is where animals start actively managing their food sources, like damselfish removing competing algae from their Polysiphonia gardens. Finally, we have symbiotic integration. This is where the relationship becomes so close that the species co-evolve, developing specialized adaptations to better support the farming relationship. Like the aphid cornicles, they've evolved to give honeydew to ants easier. Genomic clocks suggest that ant-aphid mutualism emerged around 70 million years ago, coinciding with the radiation of flowering plants, angiosperms. Similarly, damselfish farming emerged around 15 million years ago, as Indo-Pacific reefs expanded. It's like these farming systems evolved alongside the ecosystems they inhabit. And just like with human agriculture, we see evidence of a domestication syndrome in the farmed species. Domesticated aphids, for example, are often larger, wingless, and produce more honeydew than their wild counterparts. Farmed Polysiphonia algae have reduced defences and thicker cell walls to resist grazing. It's like these animals are selectively breeding their crops and livestock just like we do. So we know that these tiny farmers are cool and all, but what kind of impact do they actually have on the environment? Well, the answer is a huge one. Ant-tended aphid colonies, for example, support a whole range of specialised predators, including lady beetles that mimic ant pheromones to avoid detection. In Japanese apple orchards, ant farming can increase spider diversity by 40%. It's all connected. Damselfish gardens maintain 65%. Higher fish biomass on reefs by providing juvenile habitat. Their weeding prevents algal overgrowth that kills coral, and reefs with active damselfish farming show 2.3 times faster recovery from bleaching events. These fish are essential for coral reef resilience. And termite mounds? They store massive amounts of carbon in the soil, comparable to mature forests. The fungi's efficient decomposition creates stable humic compounds that persist for centuries, making termite fungal systems key players in savanna carbon budgets. These tiny farmers are ecosystem engineers, shaping the landscape and influencing the flow of energy and nutrients on a massive scale. They're proof that even the smallest creatures can have a profound impact on the world around them. But sadly, these incredible farming systems are facing increasing threats from human activities. Pesticides, climate change, and invasive species are all taking a toll on these delicate relationships. Neonicotinoid pesticides, for example, reduce ant honeydew foraging by 78%, collapsing aphid populations within 3 generations. Cover crops can help buffer these effects, but we need to be much more careful about how we use these chemicals. Ocean warming is causing damselfish farming ranges to shift toward higher latitudes at an alarming rate. Southern populations are already showing smaller gardens, threatening reef productivity in the Coral Triangle. And the invasive Pseudonacardia bacterium is parasitizing attine fungal gardens, reducing yields by 90%. This pathogen has spread rapidly across South America, threatening hundreds of ant species. We need to take action to protect these amazing farming systems, not just for the sake of the animals involved, but for the health of the entire planet. That's why it's so important to be mindful of our impact on the environment and to support sustainable practices that protect biodiversity and ecosystem health. But there's also some good news. Scientists and engineers are starting to look to these animal farming systems for inspiration, developing new technologies and strategies based on nature's ingenuity. Robotic weeders are now mimicking damselfish bite patterns, removing crop competitors faster and more efficiently than human labourers. Argentine apple growers are deploying ant colonies to reduce codling moth damage, saving money on pesticides. And passive cooling systems modelled on termite mound architecture are reducing energy use in greenhouses, creating more sustainable and efficient food production. By studying these animal farming systems, we can learn valuable lessons about sustainable agriculture, pest management, and resource efficiency. Nature has already solved many of the challenges we face. We just need to pay attention. Whoa. So there you have it, folks. A mind-blowing tour of the secret world of animal agriculture. From ants and aphids to damselfish and termites, these tiny farmers are shaping ecosystems and teaching us valuable lessons about sustainability and coevolution. I hope this video has opened your eyes to the incredible diversity and ingenuity of the natural world. Next time you're out in nature, take a closer look. You might just spot a tiny farmer at work. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Let's spread the word about these amazing animal farmers and inspire others to appreciate and protect our planet's incredible biodiversity. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay curious, stay amazing, and keep exploring. Peace out.